Raider Nation, what is going on? Coming to you guys with this episode for the same reason that I always do. Uh, just this random topic popped in my head, and I thought, hey, let's fire up a camera and talk about it. That's why we started this YouTube channel, just like my podcast. If you haven't already, subscribe to my podcast, Raider Cody Podcast, on all podcast platforms. That's Apple Music, that's Pandora, that's Spotify. It's everything, all the main platforms. Subscribe to that podcast. I'm telling you, I interview guests. This week, sneak peek, should be talking to Raiders wide receiver Rico Gafford. So like I said, subscribe, listen to past episodes, get yourself caught up. But real quick, before we get into it, I want to give a quick shout out to Stage Door Casino. Stage Door Casino, man, is our place. This is going to be Raiders home in Las Vegas. I love these guys. And while they are, shut down, obviously, through everything that's going on right now in the entire world, while they're shut down, their convenience store is still open. So any locals that are in Las Vegas, if you guys need toilet paper, you need water, you need any main essential supplies, for all you guys that are still maybe essential workers that can stop by, support local businesses. Shout out to Las Vegas, of course. But Stage Door Casino, keep them in mind. As soon as they reopen, I expect a grand opening party from them over there. So be ready at Stage Door Casino in Las Vegas. But like I said, I want to hit on three main needs going into the draft after free agency. Three of them. The top three. So let's get into it. Three main needs. I'm going to keep this simple. The first one is going to be a wide receiver. And not just a wide receiver. A wide receiver, everyone's saying a number one. We want a wide receiver one. I'm not even focused on that. I want a wide receiver that's going to complement the needs of the current wide receivers that we have. That is including Tyrell Williams, Hunter Renfrow. That's including Darren Waller. That's including Zay Jones. I want a guy that's going to get in there and jump in the mix. Last week, if you haven't already watched my last episode, the big three, I talked about the three big wide receivers at CeeDee Lamb, Jerry Jeudy, Henry Ruggs. So we got those three out of the way. I'm not gonna hit on those three, although I love any of those three at the number 12 pick. I don't care what it is. But I do also now want to mix in a little bit, and that's Denzel Mims. And Mims is a guy that I could have almost dang near made this a big four. Really. I mean, Denzel Mims is right there on the bubble. If we took him at 19, I don't know that I'd really blink an eye. Denzel Mims is a guy that really, whenever I watch him on tape, I don't know what this is. You guys might call me crazy in the comments, but ultimately, he just seems like a Michael Crabtree whenever I watch him. I don't know if it just his mannerisms, just the way he moves, the way he catches the ball. I see him in all these jump ball 50-50 situations, and he always comes down with it. He has He finds a way of scoring touchdowns. That he's catching big touchdowns, game-winning touchdowns. So for whatever reason, it just rings a bell as a Michael Crabtree, and I'd love to see him in the mix as a reliable 50-50 ball target because we know how Derek likes to look for those one-on-one situations. A few other guys that I like to have an honorable mention, that's Jalen Reagor. And Reagor is a guy that I believe pulled up and got injured during the combine, wasn't able to do all of his workouts. They said he clocked some like 4.27 40-yard dash. I don't think he did. I watch him on film. He's not burning defenses like a Henry Ruggs that ran a 4.27. Henry Ruggs is outrunning everybody. No one was catching the guy. Reagor, I think, is still fast. Don't get me wrong. He's not like that blazing, like complete game-changing speed, but he's got some speed on him. As long as also, or as well as, if I can speak right tonight during this video, T. Higgins, who's a big body red zone guy, even kind of like a Mims, jump ball, get up there, get it, 6'4" type dude. And Justin Jefferson, who a lot of people are high on, of course, that played with Heisman winner Burrow. Justin Jefferson, a guy that came in a little slower than expected in his 40-yard dash time, but still has speed, just like Jalen Reagor. And those are all guys that I would see, those three, Reagor, Higgins, Jefferson, if we are in a trade down scenario, we can address that need, late first, early second round. And then a guy that I'd love to see maybe if he falls into the third round pick that we can still address this need with, and that's Chase Claypool out of Notre Dame. Pretty much, if you can, I hate comping people, even though I've already comped Mims to Crabtree. I'm going to comp Claypool now, of course, like everyone else, to Calvin Johnson. Built just like him, his measurables, his times, everything. As an athlete is just like Calvin Johnson. Now, of course, we're going to see how that translates to the NFL. amazing blocker. So, I mean, hey, let's get another guy in there for Josh Jacobs to come in and block. Dude's dang near a tight end that plays wide receiver. So that's all I'm going to do. That's everybody for wide receiver. We got a lot of options there to fill at wide receiver. Now, the second position of need for me is going to be cornerback. And cornerback, although it's not as loaded to me as wide receiver, I think there's a good chance a corner is being taken before wide receiver just by the need, and that is Jeffrey Okudah. He is a clear-cut number one corner, in my opinion, by far number one corner in this draft. So I think that's why he's going to, if he goes top 5, I would not be surprised, but he's a top 10 pick all day long. Okudah is a guy that really, he's not going to be like one of your top guys that have come out in the past, in my opinion. You never know. Hey, prospects are prospects. Let Okudah go in the NFL and be great. But you watch him now. It's crazy in the combine. You're watching, I think it's like the shuttle, where it's like they're doing a back pedal and they're turning to each side. They're testing their hips. And this guy is shifting side to side. On a dime. The dude looks like he's on a swivel, like he has bearings as hips. It's almost nuts, the balance that he has. So if Okudah's there in a trade-up situation, or if somehow, oh, Lord, please, if he fell to 12, that would be absolutely nuts. Jeffrey Okudah, keep an eye on him. That's going to be the one corner that I watch. But even at 19, I would not be afraid of taking a guy like C.J. Henderson or Christian Fulton. Both of these guys, those are pretty much my top 3 corners, really, that I'd love to address. Other than that, we have a guy like Eli Apple and Isaiah Johnson still that can come in outside, opposite of Trayvon Mullen with LaMarcus Joyner in the slot. But C.J. Henderson and Christian Fulton, 2 guys that I would not be surprised with, and I would not be mad if we felt like we reached. Of course, we talk about reaching, and we're just looking off. Mock drafts are no big deal, guys. Let's not look at every mock draft as fact. Player value, we have no idea. We're just going off media analysts giving us player value. You have no idea what teams, how their boards look, how they view players. So if we decided to reach on like a C.J. Henderson, I would love a C.J. Henderson, honestly, to come in here and be that guy. But nonetheless, there's options, and I'd love it to be, if we draft a corner, a first-round corner to line up opposite of our like I said, if I can speak English tonight, to line up opposite of our guy Trayvon Mullen. Now, the next position of need I want to talk about, or should I say the last position of need I want to talk about, is safety. And I want not just a safety, I want a safety that is going to be a duo. A duo. Like this, these are the 2 guys in the back with Jonathan Abram. And when we're talking safety, to pair with Jonathan Abram, we need a guy that's his skills are going to complement, right? We don't want another hard-hitting box safety like Jonathan Abram. I get it. Paul Guenther's scheme, or what could be a little bit of Rod Marinelli's scheme now, doesn't necessarily have a free safety, strong safety role. We kind of want both to be a little versatile, but let's be honest, Jonathan Abram's going to be up in the box as much as possible. As long as we can have that free safety, center field type safety that can play along with him. And for me in this draft, that's going to be Antoine Winfield. And Winfield at 19 is not going to hurt my feelings whatsoever. If we want to address that need, we want to get that safety. Winfield, in my opinion, checks all the boxes to be that Paul Guenther safety. He's going to go in there, man. Really what you think of, my one key word for a safety, a center fielder, is you go want a guy with range, sideline to sideline. He can play up in the box. He can get deep. He can be the guy out there. And Antoine Winfield would be my number 1 pick for safety. But now I would not be surprised. This seems like a total Mike Mayock pick, and that'd be Grant Delpit, a guy that really, is by a lot of people the number 1 safety in the draft, a dude that's all over the field. Everyone's going to keep bringing up his struggles in tackling. He knows he struggles in tackling. You can fix that. He can fix that. Honestly, work on his technique, work on his commitment, work on that just desire to bring down the ball carrier, and I guarantee you Grant Delpit could be that guy. But, really, this is something I don't know how many people know, but with LSU has a special number that they let people wear, and that's number 7. If you wear that number 7, you are a special player. You are a special player to that organization. You're a leader on and off the field. So for an LSU player to wear number 7 is huge. Grant Delpit wore number 7, obviously, in 2019. And that's something I guarantee you, Mike Mayock, that's the first thing he's looking at. Who wore number 7 at LSU? And he's going to look deep into that player. So those are my 3 position of needs. Of course, I'm not going to go through the players again, but that's going to be a wide receiver to pair that, I guess goes in sync with Tyrell Williams, Hunter Renfrow, Darren Waller, Josh Jacobs coming to the backfield. I want a wide receiver that's going to fit in sync with those guys. Or I want a corner in the first round. I mean a corner, not just a guy, whatever. We get one later in the draft, whatever. I want a guy up front that can start week 1 opposite of Trayvon Mullen, and then we have the depth after that. We have Eli Apple. We have Isaiah Johnson if he can prove himself. We still have Nevin Lawson. We have guys like that. And then, of course, now a safety to pair with Jonathan Abram and have Eric Harris as the same backup rotational leader to get in there, get in the mix whenever he needs to. So those are my 3 position of needs. And on top of my 3 position of needs, I'm going to give you guys 3 shout-outs if you're watching this show. If you're subscribed to my channel, if you're not already, hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell notification so you get all my future videos. But on top of mine, make sure shout out to Samoan Raider if you are not subscribed to him. I am very concerned already. That is the dude on YouTube, Samoan Raider. Follow his channel. Also follow my guy Kenny King Jr. Kenny King Jr. This is a new channel for him. He's on my podcast, obviously. You guys probably recognize the voice from Real Talk. Subscribe to his YouTube channel, Kenny King Jr. And lastly, shout out to Murph's Fan Cave. Some new guys I'm going to collaborate with a little bit in the future, especially on the podcast. But give Murph a follow. They are trying to get to 2,000 subscribers, so get them over that hump of 2,000 subscribers. So again, that's Samoan Raider, Kenny King Jr., Murph's Fan Cave. Shout out to Uncle Mosh over there too. I'm going to drop all 3 of those links in my bio. I got the 3 biggest needs going to the draft. I got 3 of the best channels along with mine in this video. What else can you ask for? That's it. I'm done. I'm out. See you guys next video.